Patnaik, she is present now. So now I am requesting Dr. Susmita Patnaik to take over the class. Welcome, madam. Welcome to this session. Now I would like to request you to conduct the counseling session. Welcome, madam. It's
Thank
over
you.
to you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving another chances for teaching one of the subject in competitive politics. So, good evening,
Okay,
all the
welcome.
students that are here. Okay. So, in competitive politics, in this class, we are going to teach about the competitive politics. In competitive politics, we are having the two books, the book one and book two. In book one, we are having the definitions of comparative politics, the meaning, natures, approaches of comparative politics, and many of these things are there. In book two, there are different type of theories of comparative politics and the relations of the nations, one nations to the another nations. So now in this class, we are going to select the most important topic, that is called as the state building and nation building, because I choose this topic because these lessons cover many more three units. One is called as the theories of the state, and the second one is called as the theory of the nation building, and you may be called as the approaches of the state building. So, as a student of comparative politics, we should have knowledge about what do you mean by a state and what do you mean by a nation. So, every students, meanwhile, they are the both the topics are similar in their perspectives. But typically, or maybe called as in the comparative terminology, both the topic are different from one to other. So, first of all, we are going to proceed about the state building. So, after having the knowledge about the meaning of the state, then we have to cross about the theories of the state, the models of the state, the different type of outlets of the state or the catalyst of the state, and finally we are going to about the nation building and the differences and the models of the nations building, and etc. and etc. In our examinations, the questions will come about what do you mean by the state building, and what do you mean by the state building, and what is the your relations in between the state building and the nation building in the post-colonial period, or maybe what do you mean? What's the differences between the state building and the nation building in the European state? Okay, so as a student of political science, we have knowledge about what is the meaning of the state building. So, first of all, we are proceeding about the state building, the connotations of the state building. So, we know that the state is a political institution having sovereignty over a fixed territory and a population residing
Excuse me,
within,
madam.
having an
Excuse me,
effective
madam.
government. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Voice is not clear. Uh, Students are
Yes,
complaining
sir.
also. I am also not able to clearly
Okay.
listen your
Okay,
voice.
I am
So that is
checking. I am
breaking.
checking.
Voice is breaking
I am
only.
checking.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No. Am I audible? Am I audible to you, student? Hello? Okay. 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 So now, what do you mean by a state? The state political institutions having sovereignty over a fixed territory and populations residing within, having government and positive and relations with other states. It means that the state is political institutions. Political institution. What is the meaning of political institution? It is based with the political system.
No.
Political system
Excuse me,
means
madam.
what? There should be
Madam.
authority.
Madam.
Yes,
Again it is breaking.
yes, sir.
Again audio is not clear. Kindly keep the mobile or the so that what you call that is
No problem.
your Wi-Fi. that may be
Yes.
kept in your location outside your
But your
home.
voice is
That
now
will be
clear.
better. My voice
Your
is
voice
clear,
is,
but your voice is not clear.
and now what is my
Please,
status?
please keep your Wi-Fi at some distance place, I think.
Yes, yes, okay. So now is it clear, sir?
Yeah, now
Hello.
it's clear. Yeah. Yes, it
So
is
may I
clear.
proceed?
Okay.
So first of
Yeah,
all,
you
you
can
check,
proceed
then
now.
I will proceed. Is it clear? Okay.
Voice, yeah,
So
voice it is clear now. Yeah.
okay. So I may proceed. So here what do you mean by the state is in political institutions having sovereignty over a fixed territory and a population residing within, having an effective government and capacity to enter into relations with other states. It means that a state should possesses this type of characteristics. First of all, it should exhibit with a political
Ah.
systems. Second thing, it has its sovereignty. Which असुविधा लगी sir?
No, no, okay,
Hello.
okay. It's okay.
The state should have its political system. Second one, it should possesses the sovereignty. Third one, it has its territory. And fourth one, there should be some population is there who will residing within the boundary of the state. And the fifth one, there should be an effective government is there, and the state should have that capacity to enter into relations in the meanwhile. What do you mean by the relation in the sense is called as the treaty, or maybe called as the agreement with other state. It means that the state should possesses the first fundamental thing, that is that it has a good political system is there. What do you mean by the political system? Political system is that it had its control to the every bits of life in the society. If a person is in every of the one, then it has the capacity to control the person who will reside in the large of the in the so it should have a political institution. Second is that the sovereignty. Yesterday I told you the meaning of the sovereignty here is that sovereignty means
Excuse
what?
me,
The
madam.
power is called as
Ex-
that the supreme power. Yes,
Excuse me,
sir.
madam. ସେ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଆଜି
Yes,
ଟିକେ କାହିଁ
sir.
ବେଶୀ ଭଏସ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହଉଛି, ଟିକେ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉଠି ଆଗରୁ ରଖିଥିଲେ ମଡେମ ଟା ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ରଖିଲେ ବେଟର ହବ, ଆଉ ମାନେ
Sir.
କ୍ଲିୟର ଆସିବ। ଆଗରୁ ଟିକେ ଯୋଉଠି ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଭଲ ଆସୁଛି ସେଠି ମଡେମ ରଖିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ, ୱାଇଫାଇ ତ ଟାଣିବ। କାରଣ ଆଗରୁ ତ ହଉଥିଲା ଠିକ, ଆଜି କାହିଁ ଭଏସ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହଉଛି ବେଶୀ। ଆଗରୁ ଯୋଉଠି ରଖୁଥିଲେ ସେଇଠି ରଖିଲେ ବେଟର ହବ।
ଏବେ ଦେଖିଲେ sir?
ହଁ ଏବେ ତ
Hello.
କ୍ଲିୟର ଆସୁଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ କେତେ ସମୟ ଗଲା ପରେ କାହିଁ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ହେଇଯାଉଛି?
ମୁଁ ତ ତିନିଟା ଯାକ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିଦେଲିଣି, ଏୟାରଟେଲ, ଜିଓ।
ନାଇଁ ଜିଓରେ ରଖନ୍ତୁ, ଆଗରୁ ତ ଜିଓ ଠିକ ଥିଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯୋଉ ପୋଜିସନ ଟା ଟିକେ ଯୋଉଟା ଥିଲା ଆଗରୁ ସେଇ ପୋଜିସନ ରଖନ୍ତୁ। ଆଗରୁ ଯେମିତି ଆସୁଥିଲା ଯୋଉଠି ଟିକେ ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଭଲ ଥିବ ଯୋଉଠି, ସେଠି ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଜାଗାରେ ଜିଓ ରଖିଥିଲେ,
ଏବେ
ତାପରେ ୱାଇଫାଇ ଟାଣିବ।
ଏବେ ଠିକ ଅଛି?
ଆଉ
ଠିକ ଅଛି
ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ।
sir?
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ।
ନା ଏବେ ବି ହଉଛି?
ହଁ
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, ଏବେ ବ୍ରେକଅପ୍ ହଉଛି କି?
ନା ଏବେ ତ ଠିକ ଅଛି।
ଏବେ ଏବେ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ନାହିଁ?
ନା ଏବେ ଠିକ ଅଛି, କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ, ତାପରେ ଦେଖିବା। ଏବେ
ହଁ ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି ଚାଟ ବକ୍ସ ଟା ଦେଖୁଛି
ହଁ
ପିଲାମାନେ
ସେଇଟାକୁ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ
ଲେଖିବାରେ।
କରନ୍ତୁ। ଏବେ ସେଇ ପୋଜିସନ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ, ତାପରେ ଦେଖିବା ଟିକେ
ଓକେ।
କଣ। ଓକେ।
So state should possess the 6, 7 characteristics. One is called that it should have a good political system. It should possess the sovereignty or the supreme power over the association and the people that are residing within the territory. Third is called as that the state should have the maximum, not minimum population, but should be have an average population residing within it. And the fifth one is that it should possesses a good government, and the state should having the capacity to enter the relationship with other one. So these are the things that are the requisitions characteristics of a state for making the state the building in a very effective manner. Then The state is a kind of political subdivision of the globe. What is the meaning of subdivision of the globe? It means that the state is in the capacity, is possesses a place in the geographical area of a globe. Inside the globe, the state possesses the one of the area or the space that is called as the kinds of political subdivision of globe. Then it is the highest political institutions of a fixed territory and population residing therein. The state is a political institutions. In the same time, it is the state is a fixed this political the political institution where the people are living within a fixed territory. The people are not living outside the territory, but the people are living inside that fixed territory. They are having a definite boundary or a limited boundary when they are enjoying the political system. So this is called as that the state is in highest political institutions of a fixed territory and population residing there in. It means that the population should be there, the population should live within the boundary of the state, and they should enjoy the political system. Then the next one that is called as the historical evolutions of the state, where the state has been erased. What are the different the causes, or what are the different ମୁଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି ମା ଓଡ଼ିଆ ତ ନାହିଁ, ମୁଁ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ଆଉ ତମକୁ ଇଂଲିଶରେ ବୁଝାଉ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି, କାରଣ ମୋର ଲେସ୍ ପିଲା ହିନ୍ଦୀ ବି ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ପଢେଇଲେ ସେମାନେ ବୁଝୁନାହାନ୍ତି। ଓକେ, ସେଥିଲାଗି ମୁଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି ଦିଟା ଯାକ ଜିନିଷକୁ ପଢେଇବା ପାଇଁ। ଓକେ, so here what do you mean by that? The historical evolutions of the state, it means that from where the state has been from where the state has been originated, or maybe called as the evolutions of the state, or maybe called as the creations of the state. So in the process of the evolutions, we have to go through the four your phases of the state. The one is called as the transformations, unifications, cessions, and decolonizations. So what do you mean by here, ma'am? Which paper is comparative? This paper is in comparative politics, paper 2, the book 2. Okay. So here what do you, Kalpana Das, you are asking me that in which paper is it? This is in comparative politics. Okay. Okay. So you should go through the unit, the syllabus in comparative politics. In comparative politics, you are having the state building, nation building, and the theories of the states. So this concept that I used in this class, this is the three one, the nation building, the state building, and also the theory of the state. So whatever maybe questions will come, you should opt to the type of answer that will cover the questions. So here what do you mean? The historical evolutions of state. Sumitra, MEMBOF. What is the meaning of MEMBOF? Not clear. My voice is not clear. It's a Subuni. Huh? Okay. Is it now? Is it clear? There is a call in my mobile, therefore I think so there is problem. So am I audible to you? No? Okay. Priti, am I audible to you? Abhi clear hai. Okay, so there is a call in my mobile, therefore there is some problem. So now I am proceeding. So here in the historical evolutions of state. In the historical evolutions of the state, we have covered about the origins of the state, where the state is being evolved. The state is an institution which has been evolved by four processes. One is called cessions, unifications, cessions, and decolonizations. So the first thing that is called is the transformations. So here, what do you mean by the transformations? Transformations means what? That is called as a country is there. Suppose maybe called as in India, or maybe called as in some countries is there, which has been transferred from the dependent to the independent one. Okay, or maybe called as that a country. Before 1947, the India become an independent state, and it has been transferred from the dependent to the independent one. That is called as the process of the transformations. Okay, when the system, or maybe called as that, when a political system has been transferred from the one to another, that is called as the system of transformations. The second one, that is called as the unifications. So what is meaning by the unifications? You can take the example of here Germany unifications, Italy unifications, USSR unifications. It means what? There are many petty states are there. The small states are there, or maybe called the small colonies are there, and they are They are unitedly. They united, or maybe called as the collectively. They formed one state, that is called as the unification of the state, or maybe or collectively they form one nations, that may be called as the state. Okay, so this is called as that the unifications process. Why they did the type of unifications? Sometimes what will happen, you may call as that if a state is the weak in the capacity, or maybe called as that the state is the marginal in the way of economically, politically, or in the other sphere, then what will happen, the different states are there, they by their united efforts, they did this, and they made a bigger. This is called as the unifications of the state. And that is the session. So we mean the sessions, such as nothing, that is called as the breakup. Okay, sessions mean nothing, that is called as that the breakup. So we mean the breakup. Breakup means here. Take for example, your USSR. Okay, this was breakup. You may be called as that India. It has been splitted by three countries, like that of your Pakistan, Bangladesh, India. Okay, so formally it was happened. India become united. India was united with Bangladesh and Pakistan, but by the cessions policy, the India becomes or divided in three countries, like that of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India. So this is the process of what that is called as the session. Session is nothing but it is called as the your breakup of one nation in the different nations. My voice is not clear. Susmita, Muduli, Sumitra, Muduli, not clear. Audible. Checking. Am I audible to you? Hello? To you? Am I audible to you?
Am I audible to you?
The voice is breaking, madam.
I think there is a again.
No, what happened today? But yesterday it was clear, but today it is not clear.
No, sir, I connected my Geo. I also connected my Airtel, and what is I am now checking again.
No, Geo might be working. Geo is not working.
No, Geo is not. Sir, I was.
मैडम आज को नेटवर्क नहीं की हेलो हेलो
हाँ सर फोन
नेटवर्क नहीं क्या जी
हेलो
हाँ नेटवर्क नहीं
नहीं अप एंड डाउन होची नेटवर्क नहीं अप एंड डाउन होची
जियो
हाँ
अच्छा ठीक है बाहर पटू रख ले
जियो हाँ
मोबाइल टा
जाऊँ
किमा
बाहर
मोबाइल कि आपन जो आनी वाईफाई कि डोंगल सेटा टिके बाहर पटू रखन
नौची नौची चलो चल जंगल
बाहर रखले से आराम रे टाणीमो अप टू 30 मीटर सॉरी 10 मीटर जाए टाणीमो 30 फीट जाए टाणी परियो
हाँ बाहर रूम रखिए
वाईफाई टा अप टू 30 फीट जाए टाणीमो कि असुविधा नहीं
देख लो अच्छा
हेलो हाँ एबे ऑडिबल अछि कि सर
हाँ अच्छे अगाड़ी बोल ठीक है फाइन अच्छे
एबे हम बाहर को पड़े
yes
असली
clearly audible I can continue
हाँ मु बाहर से मध्य
नहीं बाहर बाहर टिके रखंतु से टाणी हो जे ये जस्ट बाहर था नहीं तो तथे तथे ब्रेक हो जी पुनी हेलो हेलो
हाँ एबे ब्रेक हो कि सर
नहीं एबे तो ठीक है कि टिके
हेलो
कंटिन्यू कला पर जना पड़ी एबे ठीक अछि टिके कंटिन्यू कला पर जना पड़ियो
स्टार्ट करूँ मु
एबे ए पुनी अधर ब्रेक हेगला
नाइन नाइन तो एबे स्टूपिड तो क्लियर
हाउ ठीक अछि ओ ओ ओके देन कंटिन्यू
ओके स्टूडेंट स्टूडेंट हाँ ठीक है ब्रेक हो
स्टूडेंट माने कहबे जार जार करे असुविधा
सर
जदि दरकार स्टूडेंट माने कहबेनी कि
हाँ हाँ से मैंने चैट बॉक्स रे लिखुछु
ओके नाउ यू कैन कंटिन्यू
So let me
again the voice is breaking
हेलो
जाइनी
हेलो
yes madam madam yes madam Yes,
IGNOU আছে।
স্বাগত দাসকে মিউট করো তোমার অডিও। মানে সেবে কুহতু।
হো
Students, am I audible to you?
Yes, it's audible now.
Yeah. Some student is there, sir. See, ଗୋଟେ ସମ୍ବଲପୁର ଗୀତ ଲଗେଇକି ମଝିରେ disturbance କରୁଛି।
କିଏ ତା ନା କହନି ଆଉଟ୍ କରିଦେବା କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ। ନା କୁହନ୍ତୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆଉଟ୍ କରିଦେବା ଆଲାଉ କରାଯିବନି। ପିଲାମାନେ ଯିଏ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ କରିବ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆଉଟ୍ କରିଦେବେ ଏଠୁ। ମଝିରେ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ କରୁନି, ତମେ ଜଣଙ୍କ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବ ହଉଛି ନା।
ସମ୍ବଲପୁରୀରେ PATHMA ଏଟା କିଏ ଜାଣି? ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୀତ ଲଗେଇଥିଲେ disturbance ହେଇଥିଲା।
କଣ ନା କଣ?
PADHMA।
PADHMA।
ହଁ ଅଛି ଲାଇନରେ ସେ ଅଛନ୍ତି।
କଣ କହିଲେ PA?
PADHMA।
ଓ BABHMA।
ସମ୍ବଲପୁରୀରେ PADHMA ଜଣେ ଅଛନ୍ତି।
ସମ୍ବଲପୁର ଲେଖା ଆସୁଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି?
କହିପାରିବିନି।
ହଁ ଠିକ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି।
ହଁ so historical evolutions of state that is related with the origin of the state. If we took the historical evolutions, we have to gone through the four process. One is called as that transformations, unifications, secessions, and decolonizations. The first is called as that the transformations. Okay, so transformation is here. What do you mean with that? That state is transferred from the dependent to the independent entity, or maybe called as that a state after having the independence, the state after getting the independence, when it has been transferred from one to another, then that is called as that the process of transformations. Take for example the case of the India, or maybe called as that the case of the USSR. So USSR also it has been it has its evolutions through the process of the transformations. There are many countries are there. They are transformed from one to another, or it has been they are originated or they have their growth through the process of the transformations. The second one is called as that unifications. The meaning of the unification is nothing. That is called as that the collections, or maybe called as that the united efforts of many states. You may take the example of Italy. You may take the example of Germany. You may take the example of USSR. Italy, Germany, USSR, or maybe you can take also the example of United States of America. This is called as that unification of the 13th state. The Germany get it in unifications by the united efforts of many states and becomes an independent entity. So similarly, these are the cases. The why the unification was took place, because we know that the small state to in order to getting the political security, or in order to getting the economical security, or maybe called as that some type of your what the benefits, they will united from one to another, and they are merging or they are united into one state that becomes maybe Italy, or maybe called as United States of America, or maybe called as USSR, or maybe called as any other state. ତମେ ମତେ ପଚାରି ପାରିବ ଯେ ୟୁନିଫିକେସନ୍ସ ବୋଲି କାହିଁକି କୁହାଯାଏ? ୟୁନିଫିକେସନ୍ସ ର ମାନେ ହଉଛି କଣ? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର ନିଜକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ରକ୍ଷା କରିପାରେନି, ସେତେବେଳେ କଣ ହୁଏ, କେତେଟା ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର ଯେତେବେଳେ ମିଶନ୍ତି ସେ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ବଡ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରରେ ପରିଣତ ହୁଅନ୍ତି। ସେଇ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି? ଦ ପ୍ରୋସେସ ଅଫ ୟୁନିଫିକେସନ୍ସ। ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଆମର କଣ, ଯଦି ଆମର ଯଦି ୟୁନାଇଟେଡ୍ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ଆମେରିକାର ଯଦି ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ନେବା, କିମ୍ବା ଇଟାଲୀର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ନେବା, କିମ୍ବା ଜାପାନର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ନେବା, କିମ୍ବା ୟୁଏସଏସଆର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ନେବା, ଏ ସବୁ ଯାକ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଯାକ କଣ ହେଇଥିଲେ, ୟୁନିଫିକେସନ୍ ପ୍ରୋସେସରେ ଏମାନେ କଣ ହେଇଥିଲେ, ଗୋଟେ ବଡ ଷ୍ଟେଟରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଇଥିଲେ। So this is called as what? That is called as that the process of unifications. Okay. The next one is called as that the session. So what is the meaning of session here? The session is nothing, that is called as that the breakup. What is the meaning of the breakup, or maybe called the breaking of up? It means that the opposite of unification, it otherwise is called as that the breakup. Okay, so opposite of unification means what? The opposite of breakup. So here the opposite of breakup means what? The USSR, that is the United your Soviet Russia, it has been disintegrated into the various states, and they become they become the independent state by the breaking of the USSR. Okay, similarly you can also take the example of India. The India was divided after 1947 into three independent states, that is called as that the Bangladesh, Pakistan, and independent India. So this is called as what? This is called as the process of cession. So unification and the cessions, they that are the opposite of one to another. Unification means what? The united efforts of many states to the one state. Cessions means what? That is called as that the breaking of one big state into the number of states. Okay, and transformations means what? The political system was transferred from ancient to the modern, or from the one to another independent entity. That is called as that the transformations process. And the next one is called as that the decolonizations process. What do you mean by the decolonization process? Take, you can say that in order to knowing that in order to know about the decolonization, we should have the knowledge about the colonizations. What do you mean by the colonizations? Colonizations means what? A country becomes a dominion of a bigger country. Okay, the bigger country took the advantages of the country in for its political, economical, or social benefits. Take for example your UK. Okay, or maybe called as that India is a colony of UK. UK took the economic opportunity, or maybe the economic advantages from India. আমি জানিছু যে ইউকে রে কোন হইতিলা না আমরো they are taking the different type of spices from the India, and they make the total market economy in a very bigger way. So this is called as that the process of the what? That is called as the decolonization. So decolonization is nothing, that is called as that the opposites of colonizations. So when the state becomes in the extent way of the colonizations, it means that when the state is independent from the colony, it is called as the decolonization process, or maybe called as that India. Okay, India after getting the independence, it becomes the decolonizations from the UK, your UK state or the UK empire. যেতବେଳେ আমরা গোটে country র colony থিব, colony টা যেতବେଳେ আমরা independent ହେଇଯିବ, তাকু কହୁଛନ୍ତି the process of the decolonization, or maybe called as that Ghana. Okay, so Ghana, Taiwan, India, these are the great examples of what that is called as that the decolonizations. Okay students, any doubt you are having? So now the next slide. Okay, so in the historical process we have to gone through the four your process. One is called as transformations. The total political system has been transferred from one to another, that is called as transformations. Unifications, that is called as nothing but called as that the merging of the different state to one state. Cessions, that is called as that the dividing of the that dividing the whole nations into different part of the nations. And the next one is called as the decolonizations. The decolonization is nothing but it is called as the splitting of the colony, or maybe called as that the anti-colonizations is otherwise called as the decolonization. Colony যেতବେଳେ বন্ধ, it means that why the state has been formed. Students, any problem you are having? Hello? 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 Students? ଶୁଭୁଛି କି ରେ? Proceed କରିବି ତ? Okay. Anushya? Okay. Thank you. So the next slide that is called as that the catalyst of state formations. Catalyst of state formation, it has been gone through. Catalyst means what is the meaning of this? Why the state was, what is the main reason by which the state was formed? What is the main, your maybe called as that, what is the main theme by which the state was formed? को प्रोसेस से स्टेट टाको फॉर्म करा जाए, कोटा मेन रीजन जा द्वारा हमरो राष्ट्र रो गठन करा जाए. So there are the two way by which the state was formed. The one is called as that the worker way, and the second one is called as that the capitalism way. What do you mean by the worker way? Worker way means what? That it is called as that the state is an entity or a political entity which can be established only through the war. Okay, by the war means what? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ करे, ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ହେଲା ପରେ ଆମର कोन गोटे स्टेट ର फॉर्मेशन हुए. India got its independence only through what? Through the war. The war may be the violent or may be called the non-violent. But what there is specific war is there. Okay, or maybe called as that USA, or maybe called as French Revolution. That is in the period of 1789. They got an independent entity by the process of the warfare. Or maybe take the example of your United States of America. In 1776, they got the independence by the process of the warfare. So through the war is only the process, is only the means by which the state was formed. Okay, if you are choosing the war is a means by which the state can be formed. So it means that in the catalyst process, it says that the first cause of state formations, or maybe called as that the start means, or the main means of the state formation is called as that the warfare. যুদ্ধ হচ্ছে গোটে এমিতি গোটে তমে মিন্স মানে মাধ্যম যা মাধ্যমরে কোন হচ্ছে গোটে রাষ্ট্রর গঠন হেই পারিব. ওকে, the second thing is called as that the capitalism. What do you mean by the capitalism? We know that in the capitalism is a process by which the state was formed. Just like you can take the example of your Karl Marx. Karl Marx says that in a society where there is a difference between the owner and the, or maybe called as the landless and the land owner, or maybe called as that the jo sarbohara au gote कहउचंती जोटा तमरो कोन जणे होचंती सर्वहरा au जणे जो माने मालिक जो माने कहउचंती सेमानक भितर जतलो युद्ध हुए, से युद्ध फल कोन हुए गोटे स्टेट रो फॉर्मेशन करा जाय. जो कैपिटलिस्ट स्टेट ता कोन हुए कन्वर्टेड हेकी तमरो सोशलिस्टिक स्टेट हुए. So where there is a gap in between the rich and the poor, or where there is there is a differences in between the landlords and maybe landless, or maybe called as that the capitalist, or maybe called as that the socialistic, then there is the there is the system of the state formation is there. It has been started. The system of state formations is there. So here what will happen? The only two way, the warfare way and the capitalist way or the capitalism way, it is the main two way by which the state was formed. Okay students, बुझी पालो ना? कुछ प्रॉब्लम अछि? Then in my next slide, okay, Susmita Patnaik, you are having any doubt? Ask me. You have written? No ma'am, no doubt. Oh sorry. Mo podi palen thik hai. I think that you are having any doubt. Features of state. Okay, so how do you recognize that it is a state? What are the main essential or main peculiarity or maybe the qualifications of the state? So here the first thing is called as that the state should possesses the first one, that is called as the sovereignty. Second one, the public. Third one, the state is an exercise illegitimate represent the general will of the people, common good, and solicit political obligations. So I will explain it in one by one. The first one is called as that the sovereignty. Okay, the first one that is called as that the sovereignty. We know that if the state is an independent entity, then it should possesses the sovereignty. In my yesterday class, I told you that the state, that in every state there will be the four elements is there: populations, territory, government, and the sovereignty. If the sovereignty power of a state is not there, the sovereignty power means what? The authority. It means that the supreme power. It means that no one can challenge the order of the state. Whatever the state declared, it is the he has the final authority, and whatever the state declared, it is the order of the god. Okay, so it may be called as that the sovereignty. The first characteristics the state should possess, that is called as the sovereignty. The second one is called as that the public. Public means what? The population should be there, and whatever the state will do, it should be in favor of the people, or whatever the state will do, it will in favor of the what? The general welfare or the public welfare. Okay, the next one that is called exercise illegitimate representation. Will, that is will, will. The state is an exercise illegitimating represent general will of the people, common good, and solicit political obligations. The state is an what? The state is an exercise. It is not illegitimate nations. The state is an there is a spelling mistakes is there. The state is an exercise in legitimations. Okay, it means that there will be some law. The state is legally vested with certain authority, and that authority should be upon the general will of the people. It means that the people choosing the state through their own will, and the state will do only for the common good of the people, and the people should be obliged to take the order of the state. So there is four word is there. One is called as legitimating, second one is called as general will, third one is called as that the common good, and fourth one is called as that the political obligations. Okay, so the first one that is called as that is called as the legitimating. Legitimating means what? The state is legitimately, it is what? It is the supreme authority of the people. माने आईन अनुसारे बा तमर बौद्धिक अनुसारे बा तमर लीगली कहबाकू गले राष्ट्र होची लोक मानक उपरे अधिपत्य जारी जारी करिवार गोटे माध्यम. Okay, and the second one is what? It has been chosen by the general will, will of the people. Okay, it represents the general will of the people. It means what? Whatever the state function, it should be in the interest of the common good and in the interest of the general will. So as it function in the interest of the common good or the general will of the people, so it should be the obligations of every citizens to solicit its order. जेहेतु से जो कामटा करे बा जो ऑर्डरटा दिए लोक मानक पई जो ऑर्डरटा दिए सेतिले हम समस्त कोन इट इज इन पॉलिटिकल ऑब्लिगेशन. इटा एक कर्तव्य, आमे से ऑर्डरटा को मानिया पे हमें बाध्य हो. Then the next one that is called is that the state is an instrument of dominance, monopoly over legitimate use of violence. The state is an instrument of dominance, monopoly over legitimate use of violence. What is the meaning of legitimate use of violence? It means that it is an instrument of dominion. Dominion means what? To whom it was a dominion. Dominance means what? It may be called as that an authority. Okay, an authority upon which one? To the monopoly. Monopoly means what? There will no, when there is no competitor is there, that is called as a monopoly ruler, or maybe called as the monopoly association, or maybe called as the monopoly authority. So through the state, what will there is what? There is the denial of the monopoly power inside the state. And through the state, what will happen? It always try to eradicate all the violence. The state is an authority. It always wants to condemn all the violence inside the political system. The next one that is called is that the state is a territorial political association. We know that territorial means what? There will be certain type of political system is there, and the political system is within the boundary of the state. And the next one is called as that the state recognized as equal and sovereign by other state in the international system. In the international system, every state, international system means what? In the global, or maybe called as that in the contemporary world, what will happen? Every state should respect whether a state is a small state or maybe a big state, but every state should respect another state equally, and they should maintain agreement, or they will tie up a different type of agreement and treaty with another state. This is the main feature of the state. If a state is there and the other state considered that this state is a poor state, we are not doing any type of treaty or agreement or tie up with the state. It means what? They are not paying you, or they are not what? They are not respecting you as a state. ସେମାନେ ତମକୁ state ହିସାବରେ ତମକୁ respect ଦେବେ। state ଟା ଛୋଟ ହଉ କିମ୍ବା ବଡ଼ ହଉ, ଯଦି ତା ପାଖରେ sovereign power ଅଛି, ତାହେଲେ ଇକୋନୋମିକାଲି ହଉ, ପଲିଟିକାଲି ହଉ କିମ୍ବା ମିଲିଟାରୀ ଗ୍ରାଉଣ୍ଡ ହଉ, ସବୁ state ଚାହିଁବେ କ'ଣ ନା ଅନ୍ୟ state କୁ respect ଦେବା, ଆଉ এই ପ୍ରକାର କମ୍ପିଟେନ୍ସି ରହିବ ଯାହାଫଳରେ treaty ଆଉ agreement ଆମର ହେଇପାରେ। Then the next one that is called as that the forms of state. Students तुम भावुथबो ए सब जिंसो काहिरे अछि, एटा state building ଆଉ nation building. In examinations you have your questions, two questions is there. What is the state building and what do you mean by the nation building, or what is the differences between the state building and the nation building, and after after your decolonization process, or maybe in the state building and the nation building in the European state, or any questions will be there. So if you are having knowledge about what do you mean by the state building and the nation building, then you can easily opt the questions in a very lucid way or in a very clear way. So after having the knowledge about the state building, I will jump to the nation building. Then after I will discuss about what will you have to choose when a questions will come. So here what will happen? So the forms of state. In the forms of state, there are different type of state, or maybe called the 6 type of states. The one is called as that the minimal state, the developmental state, the socio-democracy state, the collectivized state, the totalitarian state, the religious state. The first one that is called as that the minimal state. You may ask me that what is the meaning of minimal state? Okay, what do you mean by the minimal state? We know that there is a quote that is called as that the state is a necessary evil. Okay, the state is a necessary evil. It means that in one time the state is a necessary, and the second one it is also an evil. Okay, the state is necessary. Why the state is necessary? Because it maintain order, it enforce the contract, and it also protect the life of the people, the property of the people, the right of the people. Therefore what? The state is necessary. The state is necessary because what? The state enforce the contract with another state. The state enforce the state in matter economically, politically, socially, whatever may be, the state has its contract with the neighbors or maybe in the global world. And the third one is called as that the maintain world. If there is no state is there, then what will happen? There will be anarchy inside the state. One man will kill another man. There will be what? There will be anarchism, or there may be called there is chaos. Okay, so maintaining social order or maintaining the rule and regulation is the primary duty of a state. Enforcing contract is also the primary duty of a state. And protecting the life of the people and the property of the people is also the right of the state. If the state therefore is called as that, the state is a necessary institutions, and also called as the evil institutions. Why it is called an evil institution? When the state ignores all his duty and the state encroaches upon the right of the people, then it becomes called as that the evil institutions. Okay, so you can take the example of UK and USA. In early period of industrializations, the state is called at that time that is called as a minimal state. It means that what? In UK and USA, during the time of the period of industrializations, it means that in the beginning of the 19th century, when there is the introductions of the industry or the machinery is there, then at that time what happened? The state maintain, there is the what? There is the demand of a minimal state, a state that will maintain the order, enforce the contract, and protect the people, everything. The next one that is called is that the developmental state. What do you mean by developmental state? Any doubt, students, you are having? Any doubt? ओके शिवानी पटनायक डाउट नहीं तो किसी डाउट थिले मते मझिरे चैट बॉक्स में लिखिबो ओके the second one is called as that the developmental state so developmental state what do you mean by the developmental state the state that intervenes in economic life with specific purpose of promoting in industrial growth the state that intervenes in the economic life of the people, economic life of the nation, economic life of everyone. With specific, what was the specific purpose for promoting the industrial growth, for promoting the national growth? That state is called as that the developmental state. The Japan, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜାପାନରେ ବମ୍ବ after the bombing in Japan ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜାପାନରେ ବମ୍ବ ପଡିଥିଲା କିମ୍ବା ତୁମର ଜର୍ମାନୀର ଯେ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ୱାର ପରେ ଯୋଉ ଜର୍ମାନୀର ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡେଷ୍ଟ୍ରୟ ହେଇଥିଲା ସେ ଟାଇମରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଥିଲା ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟେଟ ମାନେ କ'ଣ କରିଥିଲେ ଇକୋନୋମିକ ଲାଇଫକୁ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ କ'ଣ କରିଥିଲେ ତମର ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମସ୍ ବା ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ସ ମାନେ କରିଥିଲେ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ମାନଙ୍କରେ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିଆଲ ଗ୍ରୋଥ ମଧ୍ୟ ହେଇଥିଲା so you may take the example of also India also after India got its independence in 1947, India does not possess any type of economy in the country. So at that time, India was very poor. So the pioneer of the political system, that Jawaharlal Nehru or many other political leaders are there, they do different type of the 5-year plans at that time. So in order to promoting the industrial growth. Okay, so Japan, it means that when the developmental state has been arrived, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯୋଉଠି state ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଭାବରେ economically weak ହେଇଯାଏ ସେ ଟାଇମରେ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ବା ମେ ବି କଲ୍ଡ ଏଜ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଅନ୍ୟ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଆଟାକ୍ କଲା କିମ୍ବା ଇଣ୍ଡିପେଣ୍ଡେନ୍ସ ପରେ କିଛି ବି ହେଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଇକୋନୋମିକାଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ପୁଅର ହେଇଯାଉ ଏଟ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ୱିଲ୍ ହ୍ୟାପେନ୍ ଦ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ adopt the developmental strategy in order to raise the life standard of the people and the life standard of every person inside the nation for their industrial growth, for their economical growth, and that state is called as that the developmental state. Then the next one that is called as that the socio-democracy state. What do you mean by the socio-democracy state? The state intervene to ensure fairness, equality, and social justice, welfare, state, ensure education, healthcare, social security, general well-being of citizens. Socio-democracy means what? Take for example your UK and United States of America. In UK and United States of America, ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ USA को ଛାଡ଼ିଲେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆगे जो USA ଥିଲା, there is the fairness in the fairness in the political systems. In the USA is the first country in 1920 where the women got the right to vote. I know that India after getting the independence, the women get the right to vote, but USA is the first country where the women get the right to vote in the period of 1920 by the process of the feminisms. Okay, so state interfere to ensure the fairness not only in the political way but also economically, socially, and also education. There will not any type of the bias in that. Just like in India, there is reservation for every caste, or there is the reservation for the women, or maybe the reservation for the minority people. So it is what this is called as that is not fairness. Fairness means treating is called as the fairness. Okay, student. So it means that what that is called as that the socio-democracy state. So here we can take the example of which one that is called as that your UK and also United States of America. Then the next one is called as that collectivized state. Collectivized states, what do you mean by the collectivized state? That is called as that the state controls all aspects of economy, little role to private sector. The state control all aspects of economy, little role to private sector. Here we can take the example of USSR and also India after getting its independence. Here what will happen? Everything that there will no scope for the private sector, and everything that was owned by the government. It means that the government tried to take its control. All the association and all the sector in its hand. ଯେତିକି ସବୁ ସେକ୍ଟର ଯାକ ଅଛି ଯୋଉ ତମର ମାନେ ଯେତିକି ସବୁ ତମର ପ୍ରଫିଟ୍ ସେକ୍ଟର ଯାକ ବା ଯେତିକି ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ସେକ୍ଟର ସବୁ ସେକ୍ଟର ଯାକ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ନିଜେ ହାତରେ ନେଇଯିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରେ। ସେ ଚାହେଁନି ଯେ এটা ଥିଲେ ଗୋଟେ one profit is there what one benefit is there what there will not be the your scope of capitalism is there ଯେମିତି ତମର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଅମ୍ବାନୀ ବଢି ବଢି ଚାଲିଛି ଅମ୍ବାନୀର କେସ୍ ସେ ଟାଇପର ଆଉ ହେଇପାରିବ ନାହିଁ। So here what is the meaning of this? The state control all aspects of your economy and giving no scope, not little scope, but giving no scope to the private sector. So take the example of Russia and the India. Then the next one is called as the totalitarian state. So what is the meaning of totalitarian state? In a totalitarian state, what happened? The state control all aspects of citizens' life. ତମେ କ'ଣ ଖାଇବ, କୋଉଠି ବସିବ, କେମିତି ବୁଲିବ, ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ every aspect. You are not having any type of independence. You are totally dependent on the type of the state. ଯେମିତି ତମର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯୋଉଟା ନର୍ଥ କୋରିଆରେ ଯୋଉଟା ଚାଲିଛି କିମ୍ବା ତମର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଷ୍ଟାଲିନ ଡିଡ୍ ଦ ଟାଇମ୍ USSR, ହିଟଲର୍ସ ଜର୍ମାନୀ ବା ମାଓସେ ଚାଇନା ମାଓସେତୁଙ୍ଗର ଚାଇନାରେ ଯୋଉ ଥିଲା that is the case of the totalitarian state. It means that the life of the citizen was totally controlled by one system that is called as the totalitarian state. You cannot move, you cannot walk, you cannot speak. So your life is totally controlled by some person that is called as that which one? That is called as that authoritarian or maybe called as that the totalitarian system. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ତମର ଯେମିତି ଚାଲିଛି କରୋନା ହେଲା ତମର ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି ସିଚୁଏସନ୍ସ ଏଇଟା ଡିପେଣ୍ଡ କରୁଛି କିନ୍ତୁ କରୋନାରେ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ଆମ ଇଚ୍ଛାରେ ଆମେ ମାର୍କେଟ ଯାଇପାରୁନେ କିମ୍ବା ଆମ ଇଚ୍ଛାରେ ଆମେ ଅଫିସ ଯାଇପାରୁନେ। ଏବେ ତମକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଥିଲା ଅଫଲାଇନ୍ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅନଲାଇନ୍ କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ତମର କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ତାର ଆଡଭାଣ୍ଟେଜେସ୍ ଅଛି ଡିସଆଡଭାଣ୍ଟେଜେସ୍ ଅଛି। ଅଫଲାଇନ୍ରେ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ତମର ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ ଟିଚିଂ ଆସୁଛି ଏଇଟାରେ କ'ଣ ଟେକ୍ନିକାଲ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ହେଲା କିମ୍ବା ତମର ଯୋଉଟା ବି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ହେଲା ଯାହାଫଳରେ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ୟୁ ଆର୍ ହ୍ୟାଭିଂ ମେନି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ସ ଇନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ and you cannot ask that questions to the counselor. You have your hesitation to ask the questions to the counselor. କିନ୍ତୁ ଅଫଲାଇନ୍ରେ କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ବେନିଫିଟ୍ କ'ଣ ତମର ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ୍ସ ଥିଲା କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଆରାମରେ ଚାଲୁଥିଲା ତମେ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟ ପୁରା 3-4ଟା କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ଟୋଟାଲ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋଲ କରିକି ତମେ ପଢ଼ୁଛ କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଇଟାରେ ତମର ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ରହୁଛି। କିନ୍ତୁ ତା ସହିତ ବେନିଫିଟ୍ ଗୋଟେ ରହୁଛି କ'ଣ ଘରେ ତମେ ବସିକିରି ଆରାମରେ ପଢ଼ିପାରିବ ଅଡ଼ିଓଟାକୁ ଚାହିଁଲେ 3-4 ଥର ତାକୁ ଶୁଣିପାରିବ ଯାହାଫଳରେ you can get the PPT, you can go through the whole process by which you can be the master of your competitive politics. So this is the best benefit of what this is called as the online process. Okay, then the next one that is called as the religious state. Religious state means what? Just like is called as that the Pakistan, the Islamic state that is called as that the Pakistan, the Taliban state that is called as that your Afghanistan, Hindu state that is called as that Nepal. Oh, okay. So I can't alter that India is a Hindu state. Okay, in India what there are different type of religions are there. So I can't alter that India is a Hindu state, but Nepal is a Hindu state. Your Pakistan is an Islamic state. Your Taliban is an Afghanistan is an Taliban state. So these are the things what there are that what is called as that the religious state. The state can be formed to the different type of your aspect that is called as that the minimal, developmental, and what the next one is called as that socio-democracy state and collectivized state, totalitarian state, and religious state. Then you can ask me that what are the different type of ideology of state? The state adopt 3 types of ideology. The one is called as that the liberal ideology, the second one is called as that the Marxist ideology, and third one is called as that the feminist ideology. In the liberal, Marxist, and the feminist ideology, what happened that the first thing is called as the liberal ideology. It means that all were happy inside the state. There will not be any type of your what rich and poor gap is there. Everyone can get whatever the jobs. So the life was protected. They maintaining the social order. So everything was there, and the state maintained everything in a very liberal way. The next one that is called as that the Marxist state. What do you mean by the Marxist state? In the Marxist state, the main authority was given not to the owner class but it was given to the landless class. The landless class means what? The persons that are in the lower spectrum of the society. जो लोक सब तल भाव रखती जो मान पैसा पत्र न थाए ता माने होची आमर जेमती कैपिटलिस्ट रे कोन होची 10 12टा लोक मिसिकरी जनको आमर सिलेक्शन कर से टाइप रे होनी मार्क्स कोन कहउचंती ना सोसाइटी रे 70% लोक आमर तल श्रेणी रहंती 30% लोक आमर ऊपर श्रेणी रे रहंती देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ पीपल 70% आर रेस्ड इन द लोअर कैटेगरी एंड 30% इन द अपर कैटेगरी. So the benefit or the welfare to the 70% people should be our motto. The welfare of 30% of people should not be our motto. So this is called as which one? That is called as the Marxian ideology. What do you mean by the feminist? So the instead of your or besides the liberal and the Marxist state, the state where the women were protected, the women were promoted, and the women were developed, and that state is called as that the feminist state. What do you mean by the feminist here? We know that in the political field, the women are not getting any type of the reservations in the economic, political, social. So here what happened? The feminist approaches says that is the women are the weaker section of the society. In order to developing the women, they should be promoted and they should be encouraged by the what? By the quota system. Quota system means what? They should be protected or they should be give by giving what a special portion of quota or the reservations. The next one is called the feminist also says that if there will be the, we know that if you will the having the if you go through the book of your Harriet Taylor or maybe called as that the second sex, the one political philosopher is written the book that is called as that the second sex, who says that the तमे कोन हस्बैंड जेतलो घरे हस्बैंड जेतलो जॉब करिया को जाए वाइफ कोन करे ना there is some problem is there the wife exhibit all the problem inside herself जेतलो तार वाइफ पे बहुत प्रॉब्लम था किंतु सी कोन करे हस्बैंड आगरे हुए नहीं. सो से बहिरे कोन लेखा हैतला जोरा फेमिनिन मिस्टिक बोली जो बहिरा थिला से बहिरे लेखा हैतला कोन ना वुमेन सबले भाबे जे तारो बातटा गुटे माने गुटे पूर्व जन्मर गुटे पाप हिसाब से जन्म लाभ करिछ. So in order to protecting the women or in order to protecting the promoting the women, the feminist approaches are there. So there are many political philosophers are there that promoting the feministic approaches, and it was promoted from where? From the your European states. Okay, by the feministic approach in 1920, the women got the political the right to vote, and in the Switzerland got it that during the year date of 1928, and India in the, after getting the independence, it quickly got the right to vote or give the right to vote to the women. Then the next thing is called as that Marxist ideology don't have any practical implementations. Okay, I will tell you. I will tell you. New liberal state. New liberal state. Okay, okay. So after my conclusions, I will take your questions. Okay. Rajesh Tripathi, मोर सॉरी जाओ तापरे मु तमरो questions को okay. Next one is called as that nation building. Okay, so you ask me that when that you complete the state building and again you are opting to the nation building. So these two are the similar. Then what is a state and what is a nation? Because India is a state and also you can say that India is a nation. But there is a big differences in between the state and the nation. State comprising of the different type of elements, populations, territory, government, and the sovereignty. But besides this, what the nation has one thing is common. It means that it consisting of the group of people. It is consist of the group of people sharing a common language, culture, history, and feeling of oneness. Jimmy Tomorrow, the example of Chak De India. Okay, everyone utter about the name of the state there belongs, but one lady is there who utter about that she is an Indian. Okay, so here what is the case? That is the case of the nation building. Okay, in our proforma, when there is a questions asked that what is your nationality, where we write that our nationality is not Odisha, but our nationality is in India. It means that we are having or we are sharing a common language, and that language is which type of language? That is called as the Hindi language. Everyone can easily understand the Hindi language. So among us, many of us did not understand about what Odia language, Telugu language, Malayalam language, but there is one particular language is there that has been understood by everyone. That is called as what? That is called as Hindi language. Similarly, we are having the culture. We are having the culture. The culture you can that is called the culture has been processed by different type of that, or when we call it the culture is transmitted by different type of the Sanskritization. We observe different type of what, different type of festivals like that. Take for example your Savitri. Okay, in the south it has been observed, or it has been observed by your Savitri Brata, but in the north it was observed by what, that is called as that Botto Savitri. It means that a group of ladies are there, they are tightening the your bottom, or maybe some your thread is there, and in a what in a tree, and that is called as Botto Savitri Katha. So we the people are having one culture is there, and our culture is that which type of culture, that is called as the traditional culture and the Indian culture. We wear sari, we wear salwar suit. So we are not adopting what, that is called as Western culture. So adopting one culture means we are building one nation, that is called as the nation building. The third one what is what, that is called as the history. We are having one history. We are gone through what, that is called as that from the barbarian, from barbar, or maybe called as from Mughal period, British period, or every ancient period. Then we are coming to the modern one. That is called as that. ମୁଁ ବାବର ନା ପଢିଥିବି, ତମେ ଆକବର ନା ପଢିଥିବ, କିଏ ହୁମାୟୁଁ, ସେମିତି ନାହିଁ। ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛେ କା ପୁଅ କିଏ, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଆସିଛି। ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଜାଣିଛେ ଯେ ଭାରତ ଗୋଟେ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗା ଯୋଉଠି କଣ ଥିଲା, ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଆର୍ଯ୍ୟନ ମାନେ ଆସିଥିଲେ, କିମ୍ବା ତମର ଭାରତ ଗୋଟେ ଏମିତି ଜାଗା ଯୋଉଟା ଭରତଙ୍କ ନାଁ ଅନୁସାରେ ହେଇଛି। ସୋ ମୁଁ ଯୋଉଟା ପଢିଛି, ମୋ ପୁଅ ସେଟା ପଢିବ, ମୋ ବାପା ସେଟା ପଢିଛନ୍ତି, ଗୋଟେ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଆମର କଣ ହଉଛି, ରିପିଟ୍ ହୁଏ। ଏମିତି ନାହିଁ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଚେଞ୍ଜ, ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି କେବେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହୁଏନି। So gotiye history, gotiye culture, gotiye language, and the most important thing is that the feeling of oneness is there. What do you mean by the feeling of oneness? Everyone thinks that the we are the son and the daughter of one mother, that is called as the what? That is called as India. If there is the problem in the border, then it means that there will be the problem of every corner of the India. So the good problem of suppose India China war challenge. ଯଦି କିଏ ମରିଗଲେ ୱାର୍ରେ କିମ୍ବା ଶହୀଦ ହେଇଗଲେ, ଆମେ ସଙ୍ଗେ ସଙ୍ଗେ କଣ ଯେ RIP ସମସ୍ତେ ଟାଇପ୍ କରିକି ଆମେ ପଠଉଛେ। ଏଇଟା ନାହିଁ ଯେ ନାଇଁ ଚାଲ ସେ ଆସାମରେ ମଲେ ଆମେ କାହିଁ କରିବା, କିମ୍ବା ସେ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ମଲେ ଆମେ କାହିଁ କରିବା। There is a feeling of oneness is there. There is a feeling of unity. There is a feeling of oneness is there. Then the next thing is called as that the theory. There are two things are there. It builds the nation building. That is called as that. One thing is called assimilation theory, and second one is called as that accommodative theory. The first one is called what? That is called as the assimilation theory, and second one is called as the accommodative theory. So in the assimilative theory, what will happen? In this case, what happened? Suppose take for example a state that formed only by race, only by religions. So these things are called as an assimilative theory. Take for example the case of the Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan is a country where everyone is a Muslim, or maybe called as that the Nepal. The Nepal was country which was created where everyone is a Hindu. So this is the case of what that is called as assimilation theory. In this case, what happened? The feeling the state was created or by sharing one common language or common race or common religions. Race means what? They are having one similar races. The people are building one state, or the people build one state, that is called as the nations. ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ରେସ୍ ଥିବ, ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ଧର୍ମ ଥିବ, ଯଦି ସବୁ ଯାକ ଲୋକ ମିଶିକି ଗୋଟେ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର ଗଠନ କରିବେ, ସେଇ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର that is এই ପ୍ରକାର ନେସନ ହୁଏ accommodative theory. Accommodative theory କଣ କହୁଛି? Accommodative theory କଣ ହେଲା? Italy, Germany, that is in the case of accommodate means what? We have to adjust it. Or maybe take the example of India. Okay, India means for India, everyone is there with different language, different culture, everyone is there, but they have to accommodate or they have to adjust in one nations, and that nations can build them into by building them and inhabit them, a feeling of oneness in between them. So this is the case of what that is, this is called as the nation building. So in your examinations, the questions will come that what is the state, what are the different theory of state, or maybe what is the difference between the state and the nations, what are the different the different challenges of the nation building. तम nation building रो कौन कौन your challenges आसिबो, suppose regionalism, or maybe called as that the language, religion, okay, or personal factor. So these are what, these are the challenges of the nation building. तम जते गोटे nation build करूचो, nation रे कोन होची हमर different challenges आसे. Suppose गोटे गोटे religious लोक माने कोन करे nation टा को भांगी चेष्टा करे, जेमती लोक कहबे नै आमे हमर जेमती इंडिया रे कोन हिंदू मुसलमान भितरे सबबळे गंडगोळ चालुची. It means that what, it is a challenge to the nation building. Okay, आम इंडिया सेक्युलर कहया सत्ते आम किछि किछि धर्म को आम कौन करछे, वी आर प्रोटेक्टिंग सम रिलीजन्स inside India. So this is also what, this is also the challenges of the nations building. So nation building में तुम्हारा challenges कौन, what are the different type of models, and before that what is the main thing that is called as the state building. State building the state कौन, state होची गोटे political institution जार sovereignty थिबो within the definite territory थिबो, people thibe, and the last one hela kono, the state is an important entity or the political entity je अन्य लोगों को agreement. Okay, see the other जिनसों का इतने important है kind of political subdivision of law, but the most important thing is that the state should possess which one, that is called the sovereignty power. It is having definite territory. That one is called as having a certain type of fixed population should be there, and it has the capacity, that is called as independent capacity to enter any type of the contract. Historical evolutions केमती सृष्टि हुई चारटा प्रोसेस हुए, go to transformations, unifications, cessions, and the next one is called as decolonizations. Benefits for making any social benefits. India independence by that is the process which that is called as decolonization. The ending of colony is called decolonization. Okay. Secession means what? Breaking. Breaking means what? Splitting. Splitting means what? State. Acha. Voice now. Hello. 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 Student. Any problem? Okay, I will try. So, hello. Hello. Student Subhuchi. अच्छा कौन रिपीट करी मनोज महापात्र टोटल सुबिनी की हिस्टोरिकल इवोल्यूशन स्टार्ट करी ना कौन अच्छा ଏବେ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରନ୍ତୁ अच्छा मु सपोज देख हिस्टोरिकल इवोल्यूशंस तो मैं पढ़े देली तापरे एटा होची कैटलिस्ट ऑफ स्टेट स्टेट टाको काहे फॉर्म करा जाए स्टेट टा दीटा लगी जिनस फॉर्म करा जाए गोटे वारफेयर और कैपिटलिज्म एटा भी तमे बुझी थिबो जो गोटे गैप हो जाए रिच एंड पुअर भितर स्टेट टा फॉर्मेशंस करा जाए काहे ना लोअर क्लासेस पीपल बा तमरो लैंडलेस पीपल सबुले चाहती अपर क्लास पीपल टू तांके राइट नेबा पई आ अपर क्लास पीपल के बेले लोअर क्लास पीपल को सेमान को राइट दियंती सेकंड इज होची वारफेयर एटा गोटे ओनली मींस बाय व्हिच द स्टेट कैन बी फॉर्म
हेलो 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 स्टूडेंट
ଶୁଭୁଛି? ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା କେତେ ସମୟ ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବାନ୍ସ ହେଲାଣି? 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, student. Okay, student. Okay, student. Hello. ଇକୋ ହଉଥିଲା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଗୋଟେ କଲ୍ ଆସିଥିଲା ତ ସେଥିଲାଗି ଇକୋ ହଉଥିଲା। ଆଚ୍ଛା ସୋ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଥିଲା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଇ ଜିନିଷ ସରିଲା ତ ଏକ୍ଜାମରେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ସ ଆସିପାରେ ଆଇଡିଓଲୋଜି ତ ବୁଝିଲ ଲିବରାଲ ମାର୍କ୍ସିଷ୍ଟ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଫେମିନିଷ୍ଟିକ ଆଇଡିଓଲୋଜି ଯୋଉ ଷ୍ଟେଟରେ କ'ଣ ନା ମାର୍କ୍ସିଷ୍ଟ ଆଇଡିଓଲୋଜିରେ କ'ଣ ହଉଛି ନା ଦ ଏମ୍ଫାସିସ୍ ୱାଜ ମୋର ଗିଭେନ୍ to the which one to the landless or maybe called the common people and less emphasis was given to the rich people because in the to the marks what the 70% of the people they are called is that they are the 70% of people are the what they are the poor people so the emphasis should be given not to the rich one but to the poor one feminist तो मीनिंग तुमको बुझा हला जो जोठी स्टेट थिबा सत्वे मध्य देखा जायछि जे वी आर हैविंग डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज वी आर नॉट ओबेइंग वन लैंग्वेज एज द नेशनल लैंग्वेज वी आर हैविंग डिफरेंट कल्चर देन दैट स्टेट कैन नॉट बी कॉल्ड एज ए नेशंस so in order to call the state as a nations it should possesses one culture one language one history and one feeling of the commonness or the oneness should be there जो दीटा theory अछि the one theory is called as the assimilation theory and second one is called as the accommodative theory the dita theory रे basic differences is that जोटा assimilation theory अछि से theory रे कोन रहबो ना जो theory टा race culture किबा religion basis रे जो state टा composite करा जिवो the state that was formed by the way of the religion race or the culture that is called as the assimilation theory. Take for example the case of the Nepal or the case of the Islam. Just like after independence, our India रे कोन हेतला जो माने मुसलमान अछन सेमान सब पाकिस्तान को पड़ okay that type of state the state which possesses or the state which prepare one your religion is their state religion or one religion should the people should having one religion inside the state that is called as the assimilation theory. Accommodative theory रे कोन होची ना the opposite of the assimilation theory there may be one national religions but in that state what happened every corner or every the different language of the people or the different religions of the people are welcomed inside the state ए स्टेट भितरे कोन होय ना सब प्रकार धर्म सब प्रकार लैंग्वेज सब प्रकार जातिर लोक माने एठी वास कर जेमति हमर इंडिया रे सब लोक हम रहि पारे जेमि तुम यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका दे आर नॉट प्रोफेसिंग वन रिलीजन इज द रिलीजन हमहु से कोनी गोटे रिलीजन क्रिश्चियन लोक ही बस पारे हिंदू माने भी रहउचंती मुसलमान माने रहउचंती क्रिश्चियन भी रहउचंती सब लोक रहि पारे ओके किबि किछि किछि राष्ट्र अछि जो माने कोन करचंती गोटे रिलीजन को गोटे रेस को किबा गोटे कल्चर को माने प्रोफेस दियंती बा ताको इंपोर्टेंस देकि जेतरा गोटे स्टेट गठन करते दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ए नेशन तापर मु तुमको मेन जिंस हमर एग्जाम रे कोन आसे ना व्हाट आर द राजेश त्रिपाठी मिनिमल स्टेट बुझी पल्लनी अच्छा मिनिमल स्टेट कहले कोन बुझुचो ना जो स्टेट टा it may be a liberal state or a new liberal state okay new liberal state means what is the meaning of new liberal state the new version of the liberal state that is called as the new liberal state in the type of the state where the state is maintaining protecting and enforcing three things that should be there one is called as that the state has the role of two type of role. One is called as that a state is a necessary role and the state has an evil role. The state has a necessary role because what? That the state protecting the life of the people, the property of the people. Therefore, the state is necessary. If there will be no state is there, then what will happen? There will be the chaos. There will be what? The one man can kill the another. So, in the fear of the order of the state, in the fear of the law of the state, there is the peace inside every country. So, in that case, what? The state is necessary. But in other cases, the state is an evil one because what? The state restrict our freedom. You can do this, you cannot do this. The state, what? The state emphasize certain type of order on us. That is called as on the one side it is called as a police state. Police means what? Just like is state police is there only to maintaining the order. केते लोक अछंती जो माने पुलिस को पसंद करंती नि केते जण लोक अछंती जो माने पुलिस को डरंती आ केते जण भाबंती पुलिस नथिले हम कंट्री केबेले सस्टेन करि पारे नथा सो दी प्रकार अछि गोटे जो लोक कोंती कोन पुलिस टा भलो के कोंती पुलिस टा खराब. So in that cases, what will happen? The state is a minimal state that can be. We can give the example of UK and the USA because in UK and USA, what happened? Now, during the period of industrializations, the state has emphasizing more to the growth of the people by the process of what? That is by the process of economical growth of the people by the process of the industrializations. So this is what? This is called as a minimal state. Minimal state means what? After the persons have been the protected, the state has minimal right. But before the state, before that person was protected, the person has maximum right. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ଗ୍ରୋଥ ହେଇଯାଏ ତାପରେ ଆମ କଣ ଷ୍ଟେଟର ଆଉ କିଛି ରାଇଟ୍ ନଥିବ ଆମେ ଆମର ଗ୍ରୋଥ କରିବା ଚାଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ଗ୍ରୋଥ ନଥିବ ଦି ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଏକ୍ସରସାଇଜିଂ ଆଣ୍ଡ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ଟିଂ ଦ ଏଭ୍ରି ଆସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ଆୱାର ଲାଇଫ୍. This is the case of the minimal state. So in our examinations, we are having the different questions will come like that of your theories of states is there. In one unit, I saw that there is the theory of the state. In the theory of I have not prepared the slide regarding the theory of the state. Mo prepared करिनी आजी किंतु मो तुमको theory of state रे कोन लिखिया पे मैं तुमको कहूची. The theory of the state what happened? There are different theory of state like that of a monistic theory of state, like that of divine origin theory of the state. Okay, so there is historical process of the state, but there are different type of states. So that questions will also come in your examinations. I saw in the pattern. So one questions is there. One is called as the divine origin state. Divine origin state re kon ko ala? The God is created. The God is not created. The God is there who create the state. ओके राष्ट्र बोले किछि नथिला जोडरे कोन होतला ना गॉड बोली गोट लोक आसले जे कि तमरो राष्ट्र तयारी कला एंड ही गिव्स ऑल द अथॉरिटी टू वन पर्सन. ही इज कॉल्ड एज द किंग एंड हु हैज द इंटेलेक्चुअल एबिलिटी टू रूल द कंट्री और टू रूल ऑन एवरीवन. So this is called as the divine origin of the state. Brahma will come from the heaven to the earth, and he created one entity, and that entity is called as the state. And in that political entity, the one person is also created at that time, and that person is has been created from Brahma. And after that, what happened? The racial divisions and the social divisions took place, just like is Brahmana, Kshatriya, and the Vaishya and the Shudra. So everything was done not by the individual but by the God, and that is called as the divine creation of the state. Some others says that the state has been created not by the divine creations but by which one? That is the creation of the war. स्टेट गोटे एमती जिनस जोटा कि डिवाइन क्रिएशंस नहीं जोटा कि हमर वार रही आमे जने जन सहित युद्ध व्हेन वी आर फाइटिंग फ्रॉम वन टू अनदर देन व्हाट विल हैपन वन इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट हैज बीन क्रिएटेड जस्ट लाइक इन द केस ऑफ द यूएसएसआर. Okay, there was one nation was there, and the nation was subdivided into different entities. Then one thing was created that is called as now the USSR was totally dissolved in the period of year 89. Then after what will happen, your divine origins theory, or maybe called as that the monistic theory of the state. In the monistic theory of the state, it says that the Manu was there who created the state. The Manu is called as the creator of the state, and by Manu the state was created. Okay, then the other your that there are different type of theory like that of your which one that is called as that social institutions theory, or maybe called as that in the social institutions theory it says that there are certain individuals are there, and the individual in order to getting protected from the threat of the another person, they are creating or They are selecting one person, and he is called as the king of the state. So we are having the different type of your forms of state, or maybe the types of state in our in your examinations, like your monistic theory of state, your divine origin theory of the state, or maybe called as the socialistic state, or maybe called as the capitalist states. So there are different things are there that are coming in. You can also jump to the your which one, that is the what the different things are there that are coming in your examinations, in that is called as your forms of state. If you are students, you are having any type of doubt, then write down in my chat box so I can clear your doubts. If you are having any doubt, student. Capitalism. আচ্ছা, কল্পনা দাস, ক্যাপিটালিজম বুঝি পারলনি? আচ্ছা, ক্যাপিটালিজম কোটি দিলা। Capitalism. Capitalism means what? Where the owners of the means of the production collectivized state. Okay. Owners of the ଆମର ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ସପୋଜ ଗୋଟେ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉ ସିଷ୍ଟମରେ କଣ ହଉଛି, ଆମର ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରଫିଟଟା ଯୋଉ ରହୁଛି, ତା ମାନେ ଦେଖ ସପୋଜ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ ଦେଖ ଗୋଟେ ଟେକ୍ସଟାଇଲ ମିଲ୍ସ। ଓକେ, ଟେକ୍ସଟାଇଲ ମିଲ୍ସରେ କଣ ହୁଏ, ପ୍ରଡକ୍ସନ୍ସ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଯେତିକି ଆମର টেক্সটাইল মিলসরে কোণ হচ্ছে, যেতবে আমার প্রডকশনস গোটে প্রডক্টর প্রডকশনস হুয়ে, সে প্রডকশনসরে কোণ না দুই তিনটা জিনিস তা সহিত প্লস হুয়ে। গোটে হচ্ছে তোমার কোণ হচ্ছে না তার মেকিং অফ দ্য প্রডক্ট, মার্কেটিং অফ দ্য প্রডক্ট, and also purchasing the product. So in the purchasing aspect, what will happen, the marketing is there. Okay, so গোটে জিনিস গোটে লোক সেটাকে অরিজিন করে, সি হচ্ছে কোণ, সি হচ্ছে তোমার লেবর। Labor তার কোন through the help of the different type of your raw material or the conchamal, then he will produce the one thing that is called as the product. Okay, a finished product. So the main originator of the finished product, which one, that is called as the laborer. The laborer কোন হুଏ না, ସେ laborer जो labor টাକୁ কোন କରନ୍ତି, ତାକୁ କେବଳ labor price টাକୁ ଦିଆ ଯାଏ, जो labor price টাକୁ ଆମର 50% price ଦିଆ ଯାଏ, ଆଉ 50% profit ଟା କିଏ ନିଏ, ତମ owner ନିଏ ଯାଏ। So that is called as the process of the capitalism. It means that when the means of production is owned by some group of people, or that people is otherwise, or when the capital is gone to the pocket of some people, that process is called as the capitalism. Or when the means of productions, or maybe called as the profit of production, has been gone to the pocket of to the rich people, the process is called as the capitalism. Capital meaning जोड़ा कहउचंती, जोड़ा कि गोटे पुंजीपति କିଛି ଲୋକ ଥାନ୍ତି ଯୋଉଟା କିଛି କାମ ଦାମ ନ କରିକି ଲୋକଙ୍କର ପ୍ରଫିଟଟାକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ନିଅନ୍ତି, that is called as the capital. So in that system, what will happen, after they are taking the fruits of the profit, after passing with the time, the people will raise their voices against that system, and in that cases what will happen, that there is the rise of state formation was there. Then the next slide, that is called as that collectivized state. अच्छा, कल्पना दास बुझिलो बे? कल्पना दास, अच्छा, थैंक यू, वेलकम। अच्छा, तमे के बुझिनो एटा? ओटा बुझिनो रे? अच्छा, एटा बुझिनो, कलेक्टिवाइज स्टेट टा बुझि पालाने। Collectivized state कहले कोन बुझुछो, the state control all aspects of economy and little role to private sector. Just after India, why the state control all aspects of economy and giving the little role to the private sector? After getting the independence, when India was got independence, at that time what will happen? India was very poor. So at that time, for the speedy development, the Indian government thought that, okay, to control all the sector, or to take all the sector in its own hand, and that sector should be not privatized, but it should be in a governmental manner. So at that time, what will happen? The state control. The state does not give a little bit of profit to the private sector, but all the your means of production that has been what, that has been regulated by the government field, just like take for the education sector. In India, what will happen now, there is a big scope to the private sector, In India, in the educations, if you see in the Barampur, I can see that if, among the 50 your school, 30 schools are from the private school and the 20 schools are in the government school. So joti hame dekha jache, if there is the private sector, there is the your maximum growth is there, and in the public sector there is the little growth is there. In the private sector students kon konni bahar jagare bhalo chakri pandi, kintu se time re kon kala government sabu sector ko ownership ta nije nei gala, kaରଣ private sector ko dele loko kon करती से माने किछि लोक kon करने reach हे जिवे आ reach आ पुरो gap टा बेसी जा फल कोन होची इंडिया कोन कला सब हमर जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर जा कोन कला प्राइवेट को नदी की गवर्नमेंट टा निज हाथ को नरे सब इकोनॉमी जति की जगह हैला लोक सेठी जमे देखिति पुराना काल रे तमर जेजे बापा कि बापा हो कि गोटे एमती प्राइवेट रे जॉब कोन समस्त गवर्नमेंट इवन पियन भी हो से माने गवर्नमेंट रे दिले आज काली गवर्नमेंट रे जॉब टा पाए अति आश्चर्य लगे कारण प्रथम होची तमर हम पॉपुलेशन बढ़ी जायछि द्वितीय जिंस होची तमर तमर जॉब सिक्योरिटी मध्ये बा जॉब टा मध्ये गवर्नमेंटल क्षेत्र अधिक होई पारु नाही. Then the next one, any question student? Warfare बुझिलानी simple things that is called as war. War is a means by which you can form the state, that is called as warfare. Historical evolution of state कहि दियंतो. Historical evolutions of the state बुझिलानी. Historical evolutions of the state कहले कोन बुझुचो इस जेतलो हमरो 1648 रे जेतलो हमरो कोन हेतिला ना तमरो वेस्टफेलिया ट्रीटी हेतिला. वेस्टफेलिया ट्रीटी पूर्वरो हमरो कोनसी स्टेट बोली नथिला. Okay, we are having the different entities are there, but what happened, we are having the populations territory, but there is no sovereignty power was there. Sovereignty power means tami jimti ame कहू जे घर गोटे किनले कुड़िया तो घर ता परे तम जागा. Okay, से टाइम रे कोन होतला ए सब सिस्टम नथिला. There is the free access from one country to the another country, from one nations to the another nations. So at the time what will happen, the historical evolutions process that through the history the state has been evolved. Take for example, तमरो suppose तमरो इंडिया केस टा नियो हैला. इंडिया रे कोन हेतिला तमरो historical evolutions टा मारे लेखिनी बोले ना के. अच्छा, historical evolutions टा कोन हेतला माने हिस्ट्री गोटे स्टेट को इवॉल्व करछि. टेक फॉर एग्जांपल आमी तो भारत जिनसरा मु जानिया बोले कोन होचे वी हैव टू पुट आवर फिंगर इन द हिस्ट्री, इन द इंडियन हिस्ट्री केमिति हमर हिस्ट्री है किबा हम देखु जे यूएसए हमर कॉलोनी डिफरेंट कॉलोनी को मर्ज करके गोटे कॉलोनी तारो केम देला. सो थ्रू द हिस्ट्री we can got one state that is called as the historical evolutions of the state. We can take the help of the history by which can say that there is the historical evolutions of the state. अच्छा, सोशियो डेमोक्रेसी स्टेट बुझी पारन किंता कोन आज के किछि बुझी पालाने सब जा पचारलाने कहि बेरे सोशियो डेमोक्रेसी स्टेट कहले कोन बुझुचो जो स्टेट रे फेयरनेस इक्वालिटी थिबो जस्टिस थिबो जोटा इंडिया रे नाही जोटा यूके रे अछि कि यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स अमेरिका रे थिला स्टेट टा को हमर कहउचंती सोशियो इकोनॉमिक स्टेट सोशियो डेमोक्रेसी स्टेट. इट मींस दैट प्रमोटिंग डेमोक्रेसी एंड गिविंग इक्वालिटी inside the society, that is called as that the socio democracy state. In education, in justice, in law, in every aspect of the state, that is called as that the socio economic trust. Neeraj Das, difference between state building and nation. सब जिनसे पढ़िले आउथरे पचारछि स्टेट बिल्डिंग रो कोन कोन चैलेंजेस, नेशन बिल्डिंग रो कोन कोन चैलेंजेस तमे काढी के सेटा एग्जाम में लिख. प्रथम स्टेट कोन, नेशन कोन, तार मॉडल्स कोन, आर मॉडल्स कोन, तार अप्रोचेस कोन, तार अप्रोचेस कोन, तार डिफरेंस कोन, तार सिमिलरिटी. एतिक जिनसे तमे लिख. Any doubt students you are having? Please show the first slide. Right? State. अच्छा, constitutionalism कहले कोन बुझो छ. Suppose in examination questions will come. What do you mean by constitutionalism? Constitutionalism is a motions named session and decolonization. Okay. Constitutional means what? Constitutionalism is a system by which the state operates. Constitutional, what do you mean by the constitutional? The process of constitutions, how the constitution is functioned, that is called as a constitutionalism. So in the constitutional steps, we are having different type of constitutions are there, just like of your rigid constitutions, flexible constitutions, mixed constitutions, unitary constitutions, federal constitutions. So different constitutions are there. So depending upon the amendment of the procedures, if the amendment of the procedure is in the very easy process, then it is called as which type of constitution? That is called as a flexible constitution. Amendment of constitution kore kono na tomar samvidhan ro sanshodhana. Take for example in the Indian case, the amendment of procedure is a very difficult one. Two-third of majority should be there. It should be passed by the two houses. So it means what? This is the process. The procedure of amendment is a very what? The difficult. But in United States of America, the procedure of amendment is a very easy process. There are only the 7 articles are there. At any time they can change or they can amend the constitutions. Therefore, what? This is called as the flexible, and in the opposite of the flexible, this is called as the which one? That is called as rigid constitutions. Well, the procedure of the amendment is in a very difficult, that takes a difficult way, that is called as a rigid constitutions, and where the procedure of amendment is very easy, that is called as a flexible constitutions. Similarly, the constitutions can be divided into the mixed constitution, just like in India, where there is a blend of the rigid and the flexible one. There are some articles are there, or there are some systems are there which can be easily amended, and there are some system are there which cannot easily amend. So these are different type of constitution, like that of your federal constitutions. Federal constitution, what do you mean by federal constitution? Federal constitution means what? Where there is a two set of government, one is in the center and second one in the state, that is called as a federal constitutions. And in the unitary constitutions, where what will happen, there is only one constitution is there, and the power is only given to the center, and the state has one, that is called as a which one, the federal, and the second one is called as a unitary constitution. So we are having different constitution, like unitary, rigid. So in your examination, if questions will come, what do you mean by the constitutionalism? The process by which the constitutions function in different parts of the world, that is called as constitutionalism. Okay. In constitutionalism, there are different types of constitutions: unitary constitutions, federal constitution, liberal constitutions, then what flexible constitutions, rigid constitutions. So there are different constitutions are there, and you have to write about what are the type of constitution that are practicing in different country. UK रे कौन चलेची, US रे कौन चलेची, किंबा तमर इंडिया रे कौन चलेची, फ्रांस रे कौन चलेची. You are the student of the comparative politics. So you should you should compare and write down the different constitutional practices that are practicing by different countries. Okay. So in our today class, we completed state building, nation building, and also the constitutionalism that is in these are the very important topic in comparative politics. So students, any doubt you are having? My battery is now low. If you are having any doubt, then ask me. Any doubt, student? If you are having any doubt, then ask me. Okay. Class केमती लागिला रे? भलो लागिला, बुझा पड़ला? No doubt. Susmita Patnaik. Thank you. हमको मो स्लाइड टाको शेयर कर देबी. आउ सॉरी मो मझरे टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम रहला, सेति लागी क्लास पूरा 100% ठीक लागिला आज. ओके, थैंक यू प्रीति, ज्योति, रश्मिता. किछि भी डाउट लागिले पचार. आ बारंबार से डीकोलोनाइजेशन करनी. मैम ए क्वेश्चन टा नंबर स्टेट इज फुली कैपिटलिस्ट और अच्छा मैम एक क्वेश्चंस नो स्टेट इज फुली कैपिटलिस्ट और मार्क्सिस्ट और फेमिनिस्ट. अच्छा आ कोन डाउट अछि रे? ए क्वेश्चंस किछि दरकार नै रे बा. सिलेबस बारे अननेसेसरी काई डिस्कशन टाइम पड़ेलानी हमरो. Okay, thank you, Anusaya. So number of students are, today's number of students, I think 60. Yeah, 70. So I will send my slide. Okay, you can collect my slide from your coordinator. Okay. Student ଆଉ କିଛି doubt ନାହିଁ? ଆଜି ବେଶୀ ଟେନସନ ହେଇଗଲା ବୋଧେ, ବେଶୀ ଟେକ୍ନିକାଲ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଲାଗି? So now I will quit. Okay, thank you to everyone for listen my class.